Meet a modern American couple. She works in marketing, he's in IT, and together they pull in a combined $133,000 a year. That salary places them in the top 25% of earners in the country. Mathematically, this household should be thriving. This income level suggests they should have maxed out retirement accounts, yearly vacations, and complete financial security. Instead, they are living paycheck to paycheck. They are exhausted, rarely see each other, and remain one car repair away from financial collapse. They followed the traditional path. They got the degrees, advanced their careers, and bought a home in a decent school district. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. In 2003, Elizabeth Warren, then a bankruptcy law professor, published research on over 2,000 families who had filed for bankruptcy. She looked for the flaw in this exact scenario. The data revealed a startling reality. Families with two working parents are statistically more likely to file for bankruptcy than single-income families. This suggests that doubling a household's working hours does not automatically build wealth. It creates a precarious situation where a single interruption to either paycheck can trigger a total collapse. In 1970, a median single income was enough to afford a median-priced home, basic health care, and occasional vacations. Housing costs typically consumed only about 25% of that one paycheck. At that time, the parent staying at home functioned as an insurance policy. If the primary earner lost their job or fell ill, the second parent could enter the workforce to bridge the gap. Today, that emergency backup plan is the default operating mode. Both parents work full-time just to keep up with the rising baseline costs of middle-class life. When two-income households became the norm, they brought twice the purchasing power to the same finite pool of housing. Prices got bid up as families competed for the same neighborhoods, essentially doubling the cost of a home relative to inflation. This bidding war extended to education. Parents used their combined incomes to secure homes in well-funded school districts, effectively turning their mortgage payments into a mandatory tuition for public school. Sending a second parent to work became a requirement for entry into the middle class, as the fixed costs of housing and education rose to absorb that second salary. To understand why this feels like a trap, we have to look at what actually happens to a second income of $50,000. Because of progressive tax brackets, that second income is taxed at the family's highest marginal rate. After federal, state, and payroll taxes, that $50,000 is reduced to roughly $33,000. Childcare costs, which didn't exist for single-income families, now average $15,000 per year per child. This leaves the family with about $18,000. A second commute, including gas, insurance, and vehicle depreciation, costs roughly $8,000 annually. The remaining balance is now $10,000. Finally, we subtract exhaustion expenses. Working 10-hour days leads to a reliance on takeout, pre-made meals, and convenience services, which can easily claim another $8,000 a year. The parent sacrifices 40 hours a week to bring home a net total of $2,000 for the year. That works out to about $1 per hour of work. The psychological snare closes when banks approve loans based on that gross income of $120,000 or more. Families take on high monthly payments that require both salaries to continue forever, leaving no room for a single life event. True financial security is built on margin and the ability to absorb a shock. It requires a different approach to how we view combined household earnings. Most couples treat both incomes as permanent and scale their fixed costs to match. They build a life that is 2 job losses away from a total crisis. The one-income foundation strategy involves structuring all non-negotiable monthly expenses so they can be carried by one income alone. This requires driving older vehicles and choosing neighborhoods based on affordability rather than prestige. It means resisting the pressure to spend every dollar you earn. This path allows the second income to become an engine for wealth. Instead of baseline survival, those dollars go toward debt payoff, retirement, and investments. Wealth is the flexibility to survive when the system fails. By keeping your backup plan in reserve, you reclaim the margin that the modern economy has tried to trade away.